Welcome everybody to the weekend report for Friday the 13th. So it's actually October 13th, 2023. Hope you've had a great week. Don't know if you were able to watch the live show of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's mom and their evolving relationship on TV last night. Understand that there was a football game played during that as well, but not much to talk about there. So let's talk about the BLS report from last week in a little more detail and the CPI report that came out this week. Let's go into these slides right now. In the BLS jobs report, when these things are reported, everybody talks about the headline numbers, but nobody talks about what's within that report. So I'm going to break down a little bit of that for you today. The September government job gains showed to be 70,000, but those were 70,000 for teachers. And that should have been expected because not every teacher works 12 months out of the year. So if you take out that 70,000 in job creations, that takes that job creations number down to about 260,000 in change. So that was really a bad seasonal adjustment there. Retail sales, I keep saying sales, but it's retail job creations at 20,000 within that report. But the Challenger report shows that there was a sharp rise in retail layoffs. So again, what's correct here? Then leisure and hospitality, always big in the BLS report, but hotel occupancy fell in the month of September. So again, I think as a consumer, it's really important to look at all the information that's out there so that you can make an educated assessment of really what's going on in the economy for yourself. Don't necessarily look at just the headlines. Also within this report, you've seen these numbers from last week when I reported on this, but I wanted to show you that within the last 3 periods where we've seen this drop in full-time hours, it has led to a recession that happened in 2001, 2008, and when COVID started. So those losses in full-time jobs for last month were 22,000, but over the past 3 months, it's been 692,000. So something to pay attention to. And there's just been a large increase in part-time work and multiple job holders. So again, it's not that we're seeing a lot of full-time jobs being brought to the market. It's just a lot of part-time work predominantly that we're seeing. Also this week was the CPI report, and this is the Fed's favorite measure of inflation. They look specifically at core. Now the headline number was up month over month 0.4, but held steady year over year at 3.7%. Now the core number, it went up 0.3%, but it still did tick down from 4.3% to 4.1% year over year. So we are seeing improvements. Now, the core number, though, 43.7% is made of the shelter component. And I bring this up because this is a highly volatile part of that report. Shelter in itself will show you in my next chart just how much it goes up and down. So it can have an impact on these numbers, but it's a lagging component because the data that it assesses it's from months ago and not real-time numbers on what we're seeing, because we know that actual rents are coming down. But you'll look at this component, you'll see that month over month, they did tick up a little bit, but year over year, they're coming down. The biggest thing to look at here is lodging away, though. If you look at the seasonally adjusted number, that's what SA stands for, it was up month over month 3.7%. But you look at the non-seasonally adjusted, it was actually only up 0.7%. So again, just important to look at the information that's in there to assess what you think is really going on within the economy. It's for you to decide. And here's the chart I was talking about. I just wanted to just show the volatility of that lodging away component. It does go up and down quite a bit month over month, year over year. So it's just something to pay attention to because it does have impact within the shelter component of the core numbers. Also within this number, just a few things to point out within the consumer price index. When you look at some of the numbers, motor vehicle insurance has gone up quite a bit year over year. It's at 19% year over year. And that's notable just because car thefts are at the highest level they've been in the last 15 years. Also, natural disasters are seen as a lot of flooding, so a lot of car claims there. This is just something to keep an eye out on. And then health insurance, well, it shows down 37% year over year. This is a number we feel like could be going up over the next couple of months, so we'll keep an eye on this number for you. So let's take a look at the charts this week. It's been pretty rough the last several weeks. As you can see, we've had a steady decline over the past several weeks. We made a little bit of gains up this week, but we are still hovering about the 7.5% rate right now. Just kind of depends on what financing you need, what your FICO score is, how much money do you have to put down. All those things influence rate, but we are seeing the market around 7.5% right now. Each week I do bring to you mortgage applications. They did actually tick up week over week. Purchases were up 0.7%. Refis were up 0.3%. So I think this is a good sign that people may not necessarily be paying attention to the interest rates and now focusing more on the programs that we have out there for you, that it will help with that payment. It is still a good time to buy, because with the lack of motivated buyers out there that are focused solely on that interest rate, they're the ones getting the opportunities for the seller concessions. They get to be more aggressive with the offers they're making. So if you're one of those people that's waiting on the sidelines and waiting for interest rates to come down, just know there are a lot of people doing the same thing. So if the market comes down, you're going to have a lot of competition. That's about all I got for you this week. I hope you have a great weekend. Go Buffs, go Rams. That's who I follow, of course, as everybody knows. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.